This is the interest rate cut that households and small businesses have been hanging out for. It's something they've waited a while for. It's very welcome. It is well deserved, and it is certainly much needed by households under financial pressure. Now, combined with 2 rate cuts last year, a family on a $300,000 standard variable rate mortgage is now paying more than $3,000 a year less in repayments than when the Liberals left office. Today, at 3.75%, the Reserve Bank's cash rate is lower than it was at any time under the last Liberal government and 300 basis points lower than when the Liberals left office. Today's interest rate cut and the 2 before it have been made possible by disciplined fiscal policy delivered by this government. A responsible approach to the budget and disciplined fiscal policy is very, very important given the economic circumstances in which Australia finds itself and given global uncertainty. So obviously it would not have happened if we didn't have the right economic strategy and contained inflation. Delivering a surplus in 2012-13 is appropriate for an economy returning to trend growth and is imperative given global economic challenges. Returning to surplus ensures the government is not generating price pressures in the economy, and it does give the Reserve Bank of Australia maximum flexibility to cut interest rates if they think that is appropriate. But of course they do take those decisions independently of the government. So today at 3.75%, the Reserve Bank's cash rate is a full 300 basis points lower than it was when the Liberals left office. And nobody can forget the fact that interest rates went up 10 times in a row under the last Liberal government when they didn't pay attention to disciplined economic policy and did not invest in infrastructure. So returning a budget to surplus is an economic imperative in the circumstances in which we find ourselves. It is Australia's best defence in a global economy that is changing dramatically, and it certainly does send a very clear message to international markets that this country is committed to responsible fiscal policy. And of course it is our credible approach to fiscal policy that has been responsible for the fact that we have the AAA credit rating from all 3 of the global rating agencies for the first time in our history. Now, of course, global turbulence and revisions downwards to revenue will make it more difficult to return to surplus in 2012-13, but we're certainly determined to get there, and we will. But delivering a surplus is not just about Australia's international reputation or the fact that we are a standout performer among developed economies. It's about recognising that families sitting around the kitchen table trying to pay the bills and bring up their kids are under financial pressure. It's about ensuring that we can do everything possible to make sure that the RBA has the flexibility to cut rates if it thinks it's necessary, as it did today.